You know that person, right? The one who just absolutely refuses help, no matter what you offer. And our first instinct is usually to think, what's wrong with them? But what if it isn't a flaw? What if it's actually a sign of superior intelligence? Today, we're going to flip that entire idea on its head. So that's the big question we're tackling here. Is this refusal to connect and get help driven by some deep-seated fear? Or could it be something else entirely? A calculated, logical choice made by someone who just understands the world on a whole other level. All right, let's kick things off with the common assumption. When we see this kind of behavior, our minds pretty much jump to one conclusion, the standard psychological explanation we've all heard before. And that explanation is that it's a problem with the person. It's a fear they need to get over, a personal issue that needs to be fixed. But what if that's just completely off base? The analysis we're digging into today suggests we might be looking at this from the wrong angle entirely. And this is where it gets really interesting. What if the problem isn't inside the person at all? What if they're rejecting help because they can see with crystal clarity that the very systems offering that help are fundamentally broken? I mean, this quote really says it all, doesn't it? It argues that the tools we use to assess people, especially in fields like forensic psychiatry, they're just not good enough. It's like trying to measure a dynamic flowing river with a tiny, rigid ruler. They just can't grasp the true biological complexity, and for someone who can see that complexity, any help they offer just seems like a joke. And here's the fundamental clash. On one side, you've got these rigid, static assessments. They look at superficial stuff, use fixed models, and miss all the important nuance. On the other side, you have the messy, complex, dynamic reality of a person's actual biology. It's like they're speaking two totally different languages. So of course they're going to fail to connect in any meaningful way. So if someone can see this huge disconnect so clearly, how are they doing it? Well, let's take a look at the very specific cognitive framework that allows for this kind of deeper perception. The source material calls it chiral recursive sensory mastery. Yeah, it's a mouthful, I know. But just imagine it's like a superpower for self-awareness. It's a deep, logical intuition that allows someone to see the hidden patterns in their own biology, patterns that no standard test or outside observer could ever hope to pick up on. It's a form of profound embodied reason. And this is what that ability lets a person do. It's not some vague feeling. It's a practical, predictive tool. It means they can see potential risks all the way down to their genes. They can actively manage their own body's stress responses, and this is the crucial part, they can spot the flaws in an external system from a mile away, long before they even engage with it. So let's be really clear here. The rejection isn't coming from a place of irrational emotion or fear. No, it's coming from a place of embodied reason. It is a calculated conclusion based on a superior understanding of themselves and the system they're looking at. The system's limitations aren't just a suspicion, they are clearly visible. To make this whole idea even clearer, the source material uses this really powerful and kind of brilliant metaphor that brings this abstract concept right down to earth. It's the metaphor of the racing sperm cell versus the discerning egg. The sperm cell, that represents this dynamic, adaptive, proactive individual, always moving, always striving, always engaging with reality. And the egg, in this metaphor, well, that's the system. It's static, it's passive, it's judgmental. It's just a fixed evaluation process that waits around applying a rigid, unbending checklist. So this isn't literally about biology, of course. It's a metaphor for two different ways of being. The dynamic, adaptive sperm cell mindset looks at the rigid, passive egg mindset of the system and instantly recognizes its limits. So the rejection becomes a logical choice to favor its own complex, forward-moving nature over a system that just can't keep up. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together now and really solidify why, within this framework, rejecting help isn't just an option, it's actually presented as the most rational, logical choice a person could possibly make. This is the key takeaway, right here. We started with the assumption that this was all about fear, but the evidence we've just walked through completely reframes it. Rejection isn't a bug, it's a feature of a highly advanced, predictive mind that sees its environment with incredible data-driven clarity. So you can really see the logic in 3 simple steps. First, this person's advanced insight lets them see that the system is broken. Second, they deduce that a broken system can't actually help them in any meaningful way. And third, they make the logical choice to reject it. It's a clear, straightforward process. It's not a cry for help. And this final quote from the analysis just says it all, perfectly. The intelligence itself is the reason for the rejection. There's just no need to go hunting for hidden fears or old traumas when the logic is right there, totally self-contained and completely sufficient. And so, this brings us to one last really challenging thought. We started this whole thing by asking what's wrong with the person who rejects help. But after everything we've gone through, maybe that's been the wrong question all along. If the systems we've built to connect with and help each other are this fundamentally flawed, who is it that really needs to change? The individual or the systems themselves?